Welcome to AnilTvEducation. Today we will discuss about 10th class, that is 6th unit, biodiversity. In that, a reading environment part 2. As a result, these forests, which were the water towers, were no longer able to contain the water. So, when the water rain fell, the water rain ran downstreams and end up into the lakes and oceans instead of going down into the underground reservoir, so that it could came back to us in the form of river. So here, what here explaining that, so here whatever the forest it has covered with trees, so whenever the rainfall is falling, so the water will come down from the forest, so in the flow. So here the rainfall fell the water down the streams. So here where are the mountains at the high, so here the water flow where the rainfall is occurred in the forest, so here the water flows into the downstreams. So it won't so it forms the splits and it forms the it forms the lakes, and here the water flows in the lakes and rivers and in oceans. So here whatever the dams that are constructed, so reservoirs, water there, in that the water has been stored. So here the water is storing in the particular place or dams or reservoirs in that, but here they are not giving chance to absorb the water in the ground. So here whatever the water is there, we are flowing the water in lakes or rivers, but here the water and on the earth underground it has been stored less quantity. But when we should not do like that, means the rainwater is absorbed by the ground. So if we do like that, the underground water is stored all the places. Here only the particular places only we are getting the water. So this is the main reason. One thing we notice that one thing we notice is that not only did the rain pattern changes become less, but also the rivers started drying up. We lost our local biological diversity. So that's a lot of damage to our environment. So here what is the causes we are doing. So here whatever the water is coming as rain, so we are storing that in the reservoir. So here where this reservoir, where the streams are flowing, in that particular place water quantity has been absorbed by that earth. So here remaining comes to far away, little bit far away from the other places, so the earth is dried, so we are not getting that land is not getting absorbing the water. So this is the great loss of the damaging of our environment, and it is also losses of the biological diversity. So here that is why in 1975 at the first United Nations conference for women in Mexico, many peoples were saying we need food, we need water, we need clean drinking water, we need food for our animals. So here in the year 1975, so here the first United Nations conference for women is held in Mexico. At that time Vanagari Maatai went there. So they heard that women are saying that they need food, they need water, they need clean water for drinking, so they need food aid for the animals. So here grass or water that required for the animals, so they are asking for these basic things. And I was wondered what has happened. These are the things that were there 20 years ago when I was a child. The environment had changed, and that's when I started this campaign to restore the vegetation and to store the land and to rehabilitate the forest. So here what they are saying that, so I was wonder, so these are the basic needs they are asking. So here these are the things that were 20 years ago when I was child. So here the Vangari Maita is saying that when she was child, at that time there is no need of such things, they all are fresh. But what happened, the now environment has been polluted, so that's why the people, the environment has been changed, and they are asking for minimum needs, food, water, clean drinking water, such things. So she was surprised how the situation is changed. So here the environment has changed. So here she thought that she want to do something change to these they want to help the women's by changing the little bits. So here they started a campaign movement to restore the vegetation and restore the land and rehabilitate the forest. So here she not only whatever the changes she want to do with the single person, it is not possible. So that's why she started a movement, she made a group of peoples. So with that help of that group peoples, she started the changing the forestation and relandation, storing the reland, like that the process has been going. So here next, NHK radio, what happened, why you started working with the women? So here the radio person is asking why you had started the working with women. So here Vangari Maitai, well, the first time when I told them let us plant trees, the women said they did not know how to plant trees. So here whatever they want to change the environment, so that's why here Vangari Maitai says to her the women's, first we should plant the trees. So here the women's are they don't know how to plant the trees. So I asked the forester to come and teach them, but they are very complicated, they are professional, it become very complicated for ordinary illiterate women. So I told the women we shall use our common sense and just do what we do with the other seeds. So here when she asked the forester department to show them how to plant the tree, so here they are very commercial and they are very professional, so they did not give any reply for that woman. So they did not help the women's. So that's why it has become very complicated. Here the women who are working, they all are illiterate people, they don't know anything. So here the Vangari Maitai is given motivation to the people that how we plant the seeds, so in the same way we have to plant the tree. So in that manner they planted the worm. So here women's working on the farm, they are the ones who plant, they are the ones who cultivate, they are the ones who produced food. So I told them that seeds of the trees are like any other seeds. So if they were to treat these seeds, tree seeds, the same way they treat the other seeds of food crops, there is no difference. So here the women, the women's workers on the farm. So here they work in the farms. They know how to plant. They know how to cultivate, and they know how to produce the food. So here in the same way, how the trees, how the seeds can produced, so form the trees, in the same manner we have to plant the tree. So here if they were treated these tree seeds in the same way, they will get the seeds as a food crop, or there is no difference. So here I told them to look up of old broken parts even and put seeds there. They will germinate and they will know these are the siblings from the seeds they planted and we gave them plastic bags to be able to put those seedlings and to nurture nurture them, and when they were about a half meter long, then they could go and transplant them on their farms. So here what happened, so here the Vangari Mahita, he said that to whatever the waste, the broken parts in their, the waste things, whatever the broken parts that are there, so we have to collect that one. In that we have to pour the sand and we have to seeds them there. In that we have to keep the seeds. So here when the seeds will germinate into plant, so into siblings, so here each the seed the plants germinated. So in that when the plants are germinated into 3.5 meter, so in that at that time we have to plug them and we have to keep it them in the plastic bags, so to put their seedlings and the care of them. So here when they grown up to half meter long, so we have to plant them in wherever, so in the farms or in the forest, wherever we find the land place, we have to plant that. In the beginning it was difficult, but they soon gain confidence and they become very competent foresters. So I call them forester without diplomas. So here when they are doing that, at the starting time they thought that it is very difficult to do that work. So by soon they gain the confidence. So when they were doing the work, they get the confidence that in that, and say they become very skillful foresters. So here the Vangari Mahita, he says that, so here they are the forester without having diploma, being an illiterate person, so they did the work as the diploma persons, how the trained persons will do, they did the work in the same manner. NHK radio, why do you think they respond so well to your message? So here he is asking that why the peoples are responded, so they give response to your message. So here it was a need. When the woman said they needed firewood and building material, we respond to their need. Planted trees, then you will have trees for firewood. In the tropic, trees grows very fast. In 5 to 10 years, these serves as a firewood as building material. So here the peoples are also needed. So they are needed for food, they are needed for water, they are for rain. So they are for building materials, they need wood. So that's why most of the peoples are depending upon trees. So they thought that if we want to change the environment, it only happen by keeping the plants and protecting the land. So that's why here the women companion started the planting the trees. So here they planted the firewood trees. So here with that what they did, so here the women they needed firewood, so here they planted the what the response. So majority of the peoples what they are asking, so such type of plants they are planted. So here the planted trees gives firewood. So here in the tropical, so in the here tropical season, tropical region, so here the temperature is hot, and in that place the plants will grow very fast. So here in the 5 to 10 years the wood trees, the firewood trees will grows and it is used for as a building material. Thank you.